started now, huh?
Okay.
Cool. Well, let's go ahead and screen share real quick.
Okay. So who gonna do the screen share? With you, Lily?
Lily.
Lily, you go ahead and unmute your phone so you can start working with Brenda.
Sure. Can you assign me to co-host, please?
Let me see.
I gave you co-host already, Lily.
Yeah, we need to give her another one.
Okay, there we go.
Another Lily, because she called in from her phone.
Okay, there you go.
Okay.
So go ahead and click on the archive. There you go. Perfect. And click on team at the very bottom. Okay, and then go to visual tree at the very top. Okay, sweet. So you have two people in your holding tank right now. Okay, so I'm assuming you want to keep them two directly underneath you, correct?
So Con, the one that's on the bottom, she's supposed to be on my second leg, and I cannot tell if she's on the first or the second.
That is your second leg. That's your holding tank. So that's your first two legs right there.
Okay, so the one above her, Huang, that's on my first leg?
You really don't have a one leg, two leg, three leg. Right now, that's just your two legs.
Okay, and they're both on the same leg?
Nope, they're separate legs. That's just your that's just front line to you.
Okay,
they're in that circle. So who do you want to place?
Huang is supposed to be on one leg, and then Sokan is supposed to be on the other leg.
Where are they at? Because I don't see them in the holding tank.
Where are they at?
Yeah, you only have two people in your holding tank that you personally signed up.
Yes, those are the two.
Okay.
When I look at this, how do we know like which leg they're on and if they're on separate legs?
Well, anybody that's under Taylor, anybody that's underneath her, that's a leg. On the other person, Hong, whoever's on their team, that's another leg. So that's your two legs.
Okay.
So if you want to go to dashboard, or actually you can right there, go to OV detail. Click on OV detail at the top. So you have one leg at 936 and the other leg's at 0 right now. So I guess they haven't ordered any volume. So let's go back to team.
Right. Team. Okay.
Okay. Go click on Miss Taylor. I'm assuming she's the one that has no volume.
Right.
Yeah. So your other one. So if you bring down bring Hong down to the circle. Okay, and then it shows the two people underneath them. Now, Wynn doesn't have anything underneath them, but Kathy does. So if you bring Kathy down, you'll see two people underneath her. So you'll see her two people that's underneath it. And then Tram has one person underneath them. And then Chai doesn't. So right now, you don't have more than three people in your holding tank, so you don't need to place anybody. You're not placing down. Is there anybody on this call that has more than three people or two people that need to be placed downwards and not frontline? Because you only have two people in your holding tank. So there's no reason for you to place anybody.
What does the circles on the left mean? The circles with the arrow.
The circles with the arrows, that's just stating what leg has volume. So you have one, that's the leg you're on, that's your first leg. That's your biggest leg you're on.
Okay, what leg has volume? Is that what the solid blue means? That's a leg that has volume?
Yes, ma'am. Your other leg doesn't have any volume.
I see. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. So is there anybody on this call that actually has quite a few people in their holding tank that wants to place people? We're not going to be able to do it with yours because you only have two people in your holding tank. Mm-hmm. So you can stop screen sharing.
Okay.
I have two legs and they both have volume, but when I go to the blue circle, it only shows the first blue circle is solid, the other two still empty.
If you only have 2 legs, then I need somebody that at least has more than 3 people in their holding tank that wants to place. So I can show people how to place. Because if you just have 2 people in your front line 2 or in your holding tank, you're going to leave them front line 2 because they're your 2 sponsors. Go to Kai's leg. Kai's been just driving this leg straight down. He's being very generous right now. Can't hear you.
You're on mute, Kai. You're on mute.
Lily, are you trying to build 1 straight legs down too, or are you trying to build 2 legs down?
One leg straight down on the second leg.
On the second leg, who built the first leg?
Julan building the first leg.
Okay, is anybody he built on your first leg yet?
Yeah, I think most of the volume's on the first leg.
How many people are on your first
She only
leg?
she only has 2 people on front line to her, so it wouldn't matter. She hasn't sponsored more than 2 people front line to her.
Okay.
We need somebody at least 3 people in their holding tank or 4.
How many did you sponsor frontline directly from you?
Just 2.
Just 2 too? You sponsor 2?
Yeah.
Anybody who sponsor more than 2?
Actually, I have to be.
You have 3?
Yeah, I have to be. Let me.
You sponsor 3?
Yeah. Let me go to the Zoom link.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let me share my screen. Oh, would you give me access to co-host
You have co-host.
on my phone?
Which phone?
It's either Wendy Bo or I just joined because I called in from
There we go.
Wendy Bo.
Got it. Right here, co-host. There we go.
Okay. So okay, so let me pull her in.
Scroll back up. There you go. So you have 2 people in your holding tank.
Okay.
I'm
So
assuming you don't want to stack all of them in 1 leg.
So see, this is kind of confusing. When we look at this, we don't know who's on the first leg and who's on the second leg.
Yeah, so all you do is the both are 2 legs. You have 2 legs here, okay? So click on Ty right there. You bring Ty down, that's all their volume legs. So that's everybody that's on their leg. You can go down Kathy, Catherine, whoever, and that's all that leg. Everybody that's underneath that person's on there. And you can see who's all underneath them.
Yeah. But okay, so the second leg.
Okay, go back up. Scroll back up, all the way back up to the top. No, you don't need to do that. Just scroll all the way back up to the top.
I'm trying. It won't let me scroll back up. Okay, there you go. So move her back up in here. Okay, now this is the second leg. Ben Nguyen, his second leg. So I pull him down. I see 2 people there. Is that 3 people or no?
That's 2 people. And there's only 2 people in the circle. So he only has 2 people underneath him.
Okay. So what does that mean?
He has 2 people underneath him.
So these 2 people is front line to Ben Nguyen.
Correct, because he brought them in.
Yeah.
Unless you sponsored one of them and placed him underneath him.
So how do let's say we want to move Janessa above Hoa Do. How do
you can't because you didn't sponsor them. You can't do that. You can only move people that you sponsored. I can't move your people. So that's like me going into your holding tank and moving your people without your authorization because I didn't sponsor them. So I can only move people that I bring into the business where I want to place them.
So let me go to Ben's account.
So let's go up real quick. Let me show you how to do
Okay.
it if you did have more than 3 people. So scroll up real quick. Go back to the top.
Okay.
So let's pretend we're going to put Ben under Ty. So put Ty down. Okay. And then we're going to go to the circles at the bottom, the little gray area. And then that's the people in your holding tank. So we put Ty there. So we're going to put Ben underneath Ty. So hit place on Ben. We're not going to place it, but I'm just showing you an example. Don't hit confirm, okay? Do not hit confirm.
Mm-hmm.
So if I wanted to place Ben underneath Ty, what I would do is hit confirm here, and then that would move him underneath. That would move that person underneath that person. Okay, does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, but you're going to hit cancel because we're not going to put everybody in one leg for you because you got 2 legs. But if I wanted to place somebody, what I do is whoever I want to place the person underneath, I would bring them to that circle. Okay, I would bring them to that circle. Now, let's say you want to put somebody under Kathy. Maybe you want to put Ben under Kathy. Well, Kathy's in that holding tank there. Let's put the arrows down, push them down. Okay, I'm going to bring Kathy down there. And then what I'm going to do is hit the circle, hit this gray circle, arrows mean, and then we're going to hit place.
Mm-hmm.
Hit place. And then Kathy's there for the place or whatever.
I see.
And then that means so at the bottom circle, whoever you want to place your person underneath, they have to be at that bottom circle. And then when they're at that bottom circle, you go to that little gray arrow, click on it, and then you'll see the people in your holding tank, and you just hit place. It will show exactly the name they're going underneath, and you hit confirm, and then it'll be directly underneath that person. But whoever you're placing underneath has to be the bottom circle. So now let's say you have, what is it? Go down a little bit more. Under Kathy, you have Lily. Push the arrow down. Say, I want to place somebody under Lily. Push Lily down. Okay. Hit the circle, arrow, gray arrow. Hit the gray arrow. Hit place Ben. Do you see Lily there now?
Okay.
So every time if you want to place somebody in your home tank under somebody, they have to be at that bottom circle. And if they're not at that bottom circle, it's not going to be there. Now, if you hit place on Ben, say hit place, go to Lily.
So when you mean
click on Lily's name, click on Lily's name right there in that box, black box.
it doesn't do anything.
Doesn't let you. Okay, used to let you. They must have changed it where you couldn't. No. Okay, so you're not. Go. Yes, you can. So what you do is if you want to place somebody under somebody, they have to be at that. Yes, Bubba. Okay, got you. They have to be at that bottom circle. Hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes. And
Everybody
that
else?
person, I have to sponsor that person for me to place them.
No, you don't. Well, for you to place somebody, yes, you have to be the sponsor, but you can place your people under somebody you didn't sponsor.
I see.
Yeah, but if you're going to place somebody, they have to be enrolled by you, and they have to be in your holding tank. I can't go get in your holding tank and move your people around. Now I can go place some of my people underneath you or somewhere in your tree, because there might be times where, man, I got this person in Houston, Texas. And I wanted to give it to Kai because he can support them because he's in Houston, Texas. So I'll be like, hey, Kai, I got a person in Houston, Texas. Where do you want me to put them at on your team? Where do you need it the most? And he'll let me know where to place that person. And then he will help me work with them as we both brought them in. So he'll tell me who, I'll go place that. I'll search that person in the genealogy tree. That person will pop up and then go from there. So let's say, for instance, you have a huge organization. Okay. So for instance, name somebody on your team that's below second level.
Below second level, let's say Lily.
Lily, okay. Go to search bar up there at the top. Because I want to place someone under Lily. So type in Lily. Okay, click on it. Click on her name. Boom. Lily shows up. So I don't have to go drink down one by one to get to Lily. I can just type in her name and she goes direct line. And then I hit the gray circle, hit Ben place on Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead and hit place. And then Lily pops up. So I don't have to keep dragging the circles down to get to Lily because she might be 100 levels down. Mm-hmm. So I can just type in Lily's name. Now, in 2 months, we'll be able to have it where you can see the entire genealogy tree, okay, instead of having to do it this way. I know this can be kind of confusing and everything else. I've already talked to IT and everything else. So you'll be able to zoom the tree out and be able to see the entire tree. Now go to your team real quick. I want to show you something else real quick, guys.
Okay.
Go to your team, my team, at the middle.
My team, okay.
Okay. So it's only going to show your first two levels, level 1 and level 2. So as you see the two levels of her two sponsors, it says 1 right underneath the AT and then BN. It's their initials. And then people that are underneath them, level 2. That's level 2. Okay. Let's go to Kathy Vo. Kathy, slide her name to the left. No, don't click on it. Slide it to the left. Hit the little plus search bar. It's going to give me everybody that's underneath her on every level. So I can see levels on levels too as well. Now, let's say I want a little bit more information on Lily. So click on Lily. Click on Lily's name. I can see her OV rank, how much personal volume she has, how much total volume. I can go to OV detail, click on OV detail. I can see where all her volume is. It's all in one leg right now. We can go to her orders. Go to click on orders. I can see what she ordered, how much volume and everything else, and what she ordered. I can go look up that order number and find out what she ordered and clicked on it. Profile. You don't have to click on profile. Don't click on profile. Profile shows me all her personal information, her address, her phone number. So if I want to send her a gift bag, or if I want to send her, see, it tells you exactly what she purchased. I can see exactly what she purchased and everything else. And then on the personal information, I can get her phone number or her mailing address, and I can send gifts to her, congratulation cards to her for doing such a great job. I can do multiple things for my team. And so it's really cool. Hopefully that helps and makes sense too as well. Is there anybody that has any questions on the placement or looking at your team or anything like that?
What if you make a mistake? I mean, can
you need a
correct?
Yeah, you need to message Kai. Kai will get with this customer service. He's called BOM, business something. Maybe they call her. I just call him my assistant. But Kai got addressed to an assistant at Q Sciences, so he would just message them like, "Hey, we actually had a mess up on placement. Could you place this person to this person?" And they'll do it for you. Now you have 7 days to place people. Please make sure you're placing your people in 7 days. The reason why I say that is because I don't want me or Kai to get overwhelmed with a bunch of text messages on placing people, okay? Because we want to focus on the bigger goal of helping as many people we can and not doing customer service stuff on placement and everything else. Now, that's the thing. But if you do mess up, it's okay. We can fix it, Debbie. Yes,
Brandon, quick question.
Yes, sir.
Just for my edification, those numbers under the names, that's what leg they're in?
No, sir. That's how many people they personally sponsor that's in their holding tank right now.
Okay, they're pretty sponsored. Okay.
Yes, sir. So that just tells you. So
Brandon,
if you click on the name, it shows you how many days they have left for their holding tank. Like if you go, so like for instance, bring Ty down or Ben. Yeah. Now click on the little arrow. Click on the little arrow at the bottom, the gray arrow. See it says days to place 1, days to place 1. That'll tell you how many days you have left. So when them days expired, this is going to be her 2 front lines. Hit cancel because you can't place them anywhere because that's their front line. So literally, they're going to be solid there. They're going to be stuck there. So they're going to be stuck there. That's going to be her 2. And then she only needs 1 more person to be frontline to her. And then after that, everybody else that she sponsors goes into her organization.
So Brandon, if I have if I have 3 lines, I would see 3 circles in the big circle, right?
Correct.
If I have 3 lines. So if I have only 1 line, I only see 1 purple, 1 little circle there. Okay.
Correct. Good. And you might see 20 people in that circle because you sign up 20 people, but you only need 3 frontline. So you need to start placing people underneath your teammates to help them up. And you can, that's the one thing I love about this comp plan, where like, if I place somebody on my 100th level or my 200th level, I still get paid as their front line to me because all that volume flows up. So you don't have to worry about breakage or unilevel or certain volume go to certain leg or anything like that. Everybody captures that volume. Everybody captures it. And that's what's really cool. You can hit the 8th rank You can all go all the way up to bronze with just 2 legs too as well. So you really don't need a third leg until you hit silver. I go ahead and tell people to go ahead and start their 3 legs though. But if you're having trouble with signing somebody up and you have great teammates that are rocking, you can go support them and help them and have a solid bronze business and make $1,700 a month with just 5,000 on one leg, 5,000 on the other leg. And you're making 37% on the binary. I've never heard of a company pay 37% out on a binary. And that's not including bonuses or anything like that. Any other questions or anything? Does that make sense for everybody? If it doesn't make sense, it's okay. You can speak up. I'd rather you have everything answered before we jump off this call.
I have a question. When you said they're the first people on the front line, does that mean that they're the first person on each leg?
Yep.
And then does that mean leg 1 and 2 or 2 and 3?
Well, they're here in this example, 1 and 2. And it can swap. It's whatever leg's the biggest. There's not necessarily a design leg that's called 1 and 2. That's just your 2 legs right now. And so when she sponsors another person, she can move that person directly under one of these 2 legs, somewhere underneath at the bottom, or she can start her 3rd leg. And then moving forward, she places her 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th person in between them 3 legs somewhere underneath. Because you only need 3 legs.
I think the confusion.
Go ahead.
Okay. And when they're in the circle and they're like on top of each other, that doesn't mean that they are one on top of each other on the same leg. It just means that, right? That's the part that I was confused about.
Where's Brandon?
Okay, I'm back now. I froze up. Now you said when they're in the circle, what now?
Yes, when they're in the circle and their names, one is on top of the other person, that doesn't mean that they're on one leg. It just means that they're the 2 front lines. Okay.
Correct.
Okay,
Correct.
got it.
The only time there's somebody underneath them is if you bring one of them down and it starts another big circle. So like bring Ben down real quick for me. Bring Ben down real quick. So Ben's the top and then that's his front line. See how Ben's in that little circle?
Yes.
And then this is his front line for the big circle.
Okay. Thank you.
Ma'am. Absolutely. I know it can be kind of confusing at first. I'm still learning too, because we just converted to this new back office. So I can't wait till we go to our genealogy tree where it's a little bit user friendly. So, but hopefully this makes sense. And then hopefully Kai can use this for training purposes. So when you sign up, people make sure they watch it so they understand how to place people and everything else too as well. And then we can do this call bi-weekly or monthly or whatever we need to do for your new people too as well, or even weekly. Like it's not going to hurt because this won't be a long call. It usually takes less than 30 minutes to share how to do this. So absolutely. If you're too big to do the little things, you're too little to cash in the big checks. So you got to do the little things sometimes.
Yeah, you want me to
stop sharing? I have a question. I've only been in a little over a week, so this is all new to me. So should I concentrate on putting anybody that I bring in on my first leg or my second leg?
Is that Susie?
That's a me.
Good to see your face. Oh my gosh. Glad to see you. So I would, to answer your question, I would just start 2 legs and then just start stacking underneath. And if you feel like you're a master recruiter, then I would go, I mean, honestly, I would go ahead and start with 3 legs. But if you've never made more money than $2,000 a month in network marketing, just stay with 2 legs. But if you made more than $2,000 a month, then start your 3rd leg.
Yeah, no, I'm a beginner, so I'll try just
start with 2 legs, just 2 legs, and just go back and forth. And then whatever leg is the weakest in volume, that's where I would place.
Okay.
So, like for instance, you Lily, you got that one leg that's taken off. Anybody you bring in, I would put it in that second leg and drive that second leg since you already have 900 volume. Because right now you can hit executive with 600 in volume and make over $1,250 with 600 volume. So you're doing half of the sales and making double the pay off the sales because you already have that one leg that's taking off. So, any other questions or anything? Anybody confused or want me to go a little bit more in depth with anything?
Actually, this is V from
No,
Tacoma. I just have something to add because
Hey.
I discovered yesterday when I was placing
Yes,
my
ma'am.
people, because at one time,
Yes,
yes, I
ma'am.
had 4 people in that box, the big circle.
Yes, ma'am.
And then I'm gonna place the third and the fourth person, but when I push down the arrow at the bottom of the screen, it's only give me 2. So I discovered if you slide it back like left and right, it will give you more name. That's where we were.
Yeah, you have to slide it to see the other names.
Yeah, the tutorial on the app never said anything about sliding it over. That's why.
Well, most people don't sign up 4 people in the first week like you, rock star, either. So you're a rock star. You're not normal. You know what I mean?
Oh, thank
So
you.
yeah,